Hello guys, so most people still use Gemini like a search engine. They ask questions, they get a paywall or test, and they forget 90% of it by tomorrow. But there is a gold mode for learning that almost no one is talking about. It is called Generative UI. So instead of telling you how something works, Gemini can actually build a simulation of it right in your browser. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to turn Gemini into your personal lab, game studio, and tutor. So right on the screen, you can see you can ask Gemini, how does parabolic work in physics? Right? You can ask it and then you send it. This is one of the ways you can get answer using Gemini. And another way you can do this is by coming here. You say build an interactive physics sandbox in the canvas window. Let me adjust the launch angle, velocity of ball slides, and I can see the trajectory change in real time. And then you click on the canvas feature, right? So you are going to see the difference in response. Now, for this particular mode, how does parabolic arc work in physics? You discover that we just give us tests, right? Learning is not very easy using this format, right? So you still need to read and then to give us a video on how we can really understand this concept. But if you are to use generative UI, it's what it does is that it writes codes on the background, right? And develop the whole scenario in order to make learning very, very easy for us. So you can see on the sandbox. Let's wait for it, okay? Mm. So right on, you discover that the difference is clear. Here, the learning is very interactive. You can reduce the velocity, you can reduce the angle, you can increase the gravity, you can increase the bounciness, and then you launch. By the time you launch whatever it is that you're launching, you discover that you are able to really understand these concepts, right? Trajectory prediction. You are able to understand the concepts, unlike this other method where you just have to read through and then try to rack your brain. But here you are visualizing the whole scenario. And mind you, what happened here is that Gemini is able to generate an interactive UI for us because it's just immediately takes in your request and then writes the HTML code, writes the CSS code, and every other code in order to render this particular visualization to make learning easy. And you can actually apply this simulation to various domains. So I'm going to be showing you the three framework, right? The three learning framework. So we have the Sandbox framework. This is particularly for those in science and maths. So you can actually use this prompt, a compound interest calculator, and then you visualize the variables. Or you can also use this framework that has to do with soft skills and business. You can say, act as a VC investor, build a decision tree game where I have to launch my startup. These are prompts you can use. Or you can also use the deep research interactive. You can say, take a 50 PDF of the company's annual report and build an interactive dashboard of this data so that I can click different departments and see their spending. So this is the three learning framework you can actually explore to make learning very easy. So this is a master template you can use, right? You can say uh give give your I want to learn this topic. Instead of explaining it, build so thing in a canvas window, include blah blah blah, so I can interact with the variables, make the UI clean and intuitive. So you can actually use this master template for any of your choice domain. So it's important for you to know that this is one of the ways you can learn using Gemini, and I encourage you to use it for any of your use case, be it in biology, be it in physics, be it any aspect of science or aspect of commerce you want to learn. Use this to make your learning easy. For more videos on generative AI, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.